Okay, this is our first video of the year. We're going to go over evaluating expressions, which just means if we have an expression here and we know the value, so I see x and they tell me that x is equal to 3, we can use that to help us evaluate these expressions. So if I see x and I know that x is equal to 3, I plug in 3 for x. I put parentheses around it just to keep it all together. And then I also notice that y is equal to -2. So wherever I see y, I'm going to plug in -2. So basically I'm replacing. And so 3 is just 3. And now we have to use our order of operation rules. 2 times -2, we get -4. And so 3 minus 4, we get -1. So that's evaluating our expressions. We're given a value, so we use that to figure out what the value of our expression. Now, if I've got something like this one, where I've got x a couple of times, but they've given me the value of x is equal to 3, I'm going to plug in x wherever, I'm going to plug in -3 wherever I see x. So I see x to the third. So that means x, which is now -3, to the third power, minus, and I notice that there's an x squared. So instead of having x, I take -3 and square it, plus, and I notice it's 3 times x, so 3, and instead of having x there, I'm going to put in the value -3. So now we've got an order of operations. We need to figure out our exponents. So -3 to the third power, -27. Then I still have that minus sign. I didn't do anything with it. I need to figure out what -3 squared is. That's 9. And I'm going to leave this the same because that's not in my order of operations yet. Now I multiply or divide before I add or subtract. So -27 minus 9. Nothing happened to those in my first step. And 3 times -3 minus 9. So now our order of operations tell us to move from left to right. So I start at -27, minus 9, and then minus 9 more. So I'm just going more negative. And -27 minus 9 is -36 minus 9. And that gives me -45. So I was able to evaluate my expression there. Okay, so now we're going to evaluate two examples with 3 variables, x, z, and y, and we have values for those. So we've got x is equal to 6, y is equal to 10, z is equal to 2. So wherever I see x, I'm going to plug in 6. So right now I have 6 instead of x plus 15 times whatever z is. In this case, z is 2. So instead of having 15 times z, I have 15 times 2 minus y, so minus 10. Now, it looks like for our order of operation PEMDAS, we have multiplication before we're going to add and subtract. So it's 6 plus 30 minus 10. And then I'm moving from left to right. I got to move from left to right once we're only working with addition and subtraction. So it's 6 plus 30, so 36 minus 10, 26. So that is the value of that expression when we plug in our variables, our values. Next example has J, H, and K, and I have values for H, J, and K right here. So I'm just plugging them in. It looks like J and H are being multiplied, so that means their values 4 and 11 are multiplied, plus, and then K, which is 8, so that's where I get that 8, divided by 4. It looks like I've got multiplication and division. I think I'm going to do those in the same step, but keep that addition in between because that hasn't changed. We haven't added anything yet. So we've got 44 plus 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then now we can get 46.